the greatest gift that God could ever give us is himself. Because if he gave you anything else besides himself, it'd be something he made, which means it'd be less than him. So as I think of gifting a gift, I think of, man, the greatest gift God could ever give us is himself. And then other gifts is just, hey, the ability to serve him and to honor him and to point people to him. So the greatest gift, Chaz, that you and I could ever give is to point people to him.
There is something special inside you.
Welcome to GNG Podcast with your host, speaker, best-selling author, Chaz Jackson.
Yo, what's going on, kings and queens? It's your boy Chaz Jackson coming back to you once again, representing GNG Gifting a Gift. Hey, you know what we honor and live by on this podcast. You are gifted differently to make a difference. Anyone in your path, be that difference maker in their life, because no one is too small to be a difference maker. And I'll tell you what, there is a difference maker that's on the platform today. Scotty Hollins is in the building. Tuscaloosa, are you ready to get it, King?
I'm excited, man. Can we roll with this thing, baby?
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. So I know we've talked off camera. We connected out in Arizona, just a few weeks back, and just excited to get you in front of the GNG audience to share how, you're empowering and equipping students in Alabama areas, surrounding areas, as a chaplain at University of Alabama, and just in the community, looking to give our young people clarity, focus, and consistency on how to unleash those gifts, how to really tap into their potential in whatever lane God is guiding them to serve in. So I just want you to share with the audience your backstory. Where did all this begin? Kind of take us back in time, and how did you get to where you are, impacting lives?
Pleasure meeting you out there in Tucson. I believe in the providence of God and just his plan. And so part of his plan for me was to go out and speak to the kids out there. But also, I think a huge part of his plan was for me to meet you and some of the other brothers out there. And I hope that we're able to stay in touch. You are inspiring me, brother. I didn't know you were a best-selling author. I'm going to give you a little shout out. I was looking at you're a best-selling author, and you're doing a lot of things that I hope to do. So you're going to have to be my mentor. You're going to have to be the person to help me figure out how to write that best-selling book, how to get that podcast going. So it's a pleasure for me to be on your podcast and to be able to share a few words. But I just want to thank you for your inspiration and for just getting after it and setting a great example for us. A little bit of my backstory. So my backstory, grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, and went to a high school, Huffman High School, walked on at UAB, actually became a Christian there. An athletic trainer shared the gospel with me, led me to Christ, discipled me. And then I joined a ministry called Campus Outreach, was on staff with them for 9 years. I was a chaplain. So at 22 years old, I became a chaplain for the first time. My first year in full-time ministry, I went over to the football coach at Tuskegee University and said, hey, man, I'm going to be on this campus. I'm serving as a campus minister. I played football at UAB up the road. I have a heart for student athletes because I just was one a few months ago. Man, I would love to be a part of your team if you would allow me. And he said, man, yes, I would love for you to be a part. And that was kind of the beginning of me being a chaplain. I served at Tuskegee for 4 years. Then after that, one of the guys I discipled was ready to take my job. So I was like, bro, you got it. I'll move on up the road. So one of my goals is always to work myself out of a job. That happened there, where I was able to, pass that on to my brother, Terrence Jones, who is a pastor. He actually went out to California to MacArthur Seminary, and now he's a pastor in Montgomery in the inner city. From there, I went to UAB to serve as chaplain. I played at UAB, now I served as chaplain for 3 years. From there, Alabama State for 2. And then I got a chance to go to University of Alabama. And this is my 14th year at the University of Alabama. So we got there, my wife and I got there January of 2009. And so we got there with 2 children, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. And so now I have a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And my wife is about to finish her PhD in May. So I guess you can tell we're really busy.
Doing it, man.
Woo! The Lord is good, though. The Lord is good. So when I got here to campus, I served as a chaplain with football and with men's basketball, and I've still had the privilege, again, for those years, all these years, to serve in that capacity. And so, man, I'm just thankful to be here. And one of my favorite verses as it relates to kind of me being able to be here is that, every gift that we have is from God, but it's for Him. Whoa,
what? Hold on. You gotta say that one more time. Say that one more time for the audience.
And let me. That's a principle I got from a verse. So I don't want to make up a verse. Jeremiah 9:23-24. He says, "Let not the wise man boast in his wisdom. Let not the wealthy man boast in his riches. Let not the strong man boast in his strength. But let him who boasts boast in this, that Amen. You know and understand the one true God." And I think one little lesson I get from that is you don't boast in wisdom. If you got it, where'd you get it from? You didn't, if you got wealth or strength, whatever you got, it's from Him. But guess what? It's also for Him. And then the greatest gift that God could ever give us is in that passage as well. He says, if you got all those things, don't boast in those. Boast in this, that you know God. The greatest gift God could ever give us, since He is the creator of all things, the greatest gift that God could ever give us is Himself. Because if He gave you anything else besides Himself, it'd be something He made, which means it'd be less than Him. So as I think of gift and a gift, I think of, man, the greatest gift God could ever give us is Himself. And then other gifts is just, hey, the ability to serve Him and to honor Him and to point people to Him. So the greatest gift, Chaz, that you and I could ever give is to point people to Him. The greatest gift.
Hey, brother, the beauty of this show is the spotlight is on you. That's the reason the Lord led you to this platform, for you to be able to share your gifts and talents. And I love what you said. It is all for Him. I know you kind of spilled off a couple of accolades of what the Lord has allowed me to accomplish. But man, I go back to what you just said. It's glory to Him, because, me being an earthly vessel, me allowing the Lord to work through me to be, in Matthew 5, it talks about salt and light to the world, giving those God flavors and God colors wherever the Lord is calling me to serve in. And that's what Gift and the Gift is all about. That's why we start this show. You are gifted differently to make a difference, because, the Lord has took your experiences, your trials, the things that has shaped you to become that unique person that you are. Because, we talk about this a lot on this show, is don't allow your experiences to teach others, not obstacles to hold you back. And man, it's amazing for you diving deeper into what you're doing, King Scotty, and how you're serving in Alabama. And I want you to talk a little bit more about your nonprofit blueprint. And I want you to dive into, I know you got that 4 over the E. And I want you to kind of give me the backstory on that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, kind of what does that mean to you when I bring up your title of your organization? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. So, man, first of all, it means, going back to what I said, man, we're just stewards. Everything we have is from Him, but it's for Him. Like, that's the essence of stewardship, is understanding that whatever you have, hey, even my life doesn't belong to me. I'm married with a beautiful wife, 4 amazing kids. They don't belong to me. I'm a steward. And so when I think of life and even the nonprofit He's blessed me with, hey, He's blessed me with it. He has grown it. He has sustained it. And it's from Him, but it's also for Him. So I'm like, Lord, how can I use this to bring glory to Your name? One thing my nonprofit allows me to do is to continue to serve here as a chaplain in athletics. My heartbeat has always been for the hood, though, I'll be honest. And so wherever I've been over the last 22 years of ministry, I've tried to leverage wherever I was and the opportunities I had, the platform that I was given, to leverage that to impact the hood. That's just been my heart. So back in a cool story, remember I talked about the guy Terrence Jones? When I was at Tuskegee, I used to take them we used to go in the hood and serve. And he actually felt God calling him to go and plant a church in an under-resourced community. He said, look, I want to, and he lives, he's doing incarnational ministry, where he says, you know what, I'm not going to drive from the nice neighborhood to I'm going to live in an under-resourced community where my church is, and I'm going to serve this community and and serve. Anyway, all that to say, that's been my heart. So when I think of, just as I want to share Blueprint, I have a platform. I'm a chaplain with our basketball team and with our football team. So I have God's given me some amazing influence with our coaches, with our athletes, with our athletic administration. And that gives me influence in this whole city of Tuscaloosa. So I've tried to use that and to leverage that to be a blessing in the community. And so I'll share with you a few things of what I'm doing. But let me give you my mission statement. It's helping students or young men, young women, we'll call it students, helping students become who they were destined to become in order to accomplish what they were destined to accomplish, so they can influence who they were destined to influence. And so all three of those things. Thank you, brother. So so that's my win. If I can help a young man understand that, obviously the greatest thing I want to share with them is the gospel. Let's be real. We have nothing greater to offer. But one thing I like to help our students, so one thing I'm doing is a tutoring program with kids from a housing project here in Tuscaloosa. And so God has given me the privilege, again, with the platform to connect two churches. I'll call it, one's a suburban church and one's an urban church. Those are my code words. You can figure out how that means. And those churches have come together to partner to, it used to be to help me lead the tutoring program that I started at the housing project. But now I've handed it off to them and now I help them. It's their project. I'm like, look, you guys, it's your thing. So you got an urban and suburban church partnering together, running this tutoring program, helping kids actually excel. I don't know if you've ever heard this statistic. They say if a kid isn't reading at grade level by third grade, then there's a really good chance that they'll drop out of school and end up becoming a statistic of crime. And here's the reason. Have you ever heard that?
I haven't, but I'm taking that in. That's deep.
I'm gonna tell you some reasoning behind that, because they say from kindergarten to third grade, you learn to read. They say from fourth grade on, you read to learn. So if you haven't learned to read by the end of the third grade, when it's time to read to learn, you finna get left behind. And the further you get behind, the more discouraged you get. And you're like, forget this, man. I'm gonna just go get me a job or go whatever. And so all that to say that's kind of an issue that we are tackling in a neighborhood in Tuscaloosa, where that percentage of kids reading at grade level by third grade in this community is very low. And so we're trying to raise that number up and really want to have no kid left behind. So we have, even if we got a kid in sixth grade and he's not reading at grade level and he's reading at second grade level, we're not, we're trying to work with that kid to get up to grade level. So, as many kids that will, come and join us, we will help them get to grade level. So all that to say, that's one little piece of blueprint. Another one is I've had the privilege for the last 6 years of doing a character program for our whole city school system, which is cool. And so that being said, again, think about this whole idea. So you got, and it's for the high schools, middle schools that I get a chance to impact. So think about the idea of kids having a dream. They want to go somewhere. They want to accomplish something. They want to be Chaz. Like, man, I met this dude named Chaz. If only I could be like him. They have that as a dream. That's what they want to accomplish. But the question is, how do they get there? And so that's why my mission statement is helping students become who they need to become in order to accomplish what they were destined to accomplish, and ultimately to influence who they were destined to influence. So the point is, with this character program, I'm focusing on saying, all right, figure out where you want to go. Tell me that. And so with it being within the city school system, and it's a mandatory thing, I can't take the spiritual route. So I'm taking the character route, and I'm all good with that. So I'm saying, all right, where do you want to go? Helping kids embrace ownership. Like, a lot of times they're not locked in because mama wants them to make good grades, and they don't know why they're making good grades. Like, what for what? But what I try to help them understand, and mama wants them to do this, and daddy wants them to do that. I try to help them understand, like, think through, where do you want to go? So first thing I want to do is help you embrace ownership. So if you really want to, what do you say?
I say help them get that clarity. I like that.
That clarity. Where do you want to go? If you could, write your own script, and you can, but what would you accomplish? What's your best case scenario? And so as they figure that out, I say, all right, what will it take to get there? All right. So let's do some research. Let's figure out what will it take to actually become really good at that, whatever that is for you. And then after that, I say, all right, that's what it would take to get there. Who do you have to become to do all that stuff to get there? And I'll be honest, I'm stealing some of this stuff from just being here at the University of Alabama. For just being around Coach Saban, I've heard him just his messaging to our players.
I'm sure he drops a lot of gems too.
Oh,
I listen to a lot of stuff.
You can't imagine. And I'm just a fly on the wall. I'm just there. I mean, I get a chance to serve our athletic community, but I get the brother Coach Saban just dropping dimes. You remember that commercial, dropping dimes. He's dropping. So the one thing he talks about, his whole recruiting message is simply, if you want to be a champion, come mess with us. Come holler at us. His whole point is I want to make you a champion. Now, Jack, I might have tricked a lot of people who not listening too closely, because you might have thought I said, come to us if you want to win a championship. I didn't say that. I said, come to us if you want to be a champion. So Coach Saban's whole message is, we're going to be champions in everything we do. We'll be champions in the classroom. We'll be champions in the weight room. We'll be champions of nutrition. We're going to be champions in the community. Every time we win a national championship, they build another house for Habitat for Humanity, for a family. Isn't that crazy? So you can, anyway, so we're going to be champions in everything we do. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Here's the point, though. You got to be, people don't understand. I never would have understood this except for being here. We won 6 national championships, I think 8 or 9 SEC championships in the 14 years I've been here to just see and to be a fly on the wall. I don't think people understand this, that you got to become a champ. They think you become a champion after you get a championship. The opposite is true.
It's before. It's that process.
You become a champion and then you win a championship. And a lot of times, so the point is, you become the best version of yourself. And to the degree that the people around you do that, do you position yourself to have that opportunity to win a championship? And every year that we won a championship, I've seen that actually happening. Everybody becoming the best that they can be, coming together. And so I say that to say, as I help our kids with this character program in the Tuscaloosa City schools, I'm helping them figure out, where do you want to go? So our guys want to win a national championship. So then what you got to do? Who do you have to become? I got to become a champion. What does that look like? What character qualities do you have to grow in? And what do you need to do in order to actually be able to walk through the process that's necessary to get there? So that's part of it. It's who are you destined to become in order to accomplish what you were destined to accomplish, and helping them figure that out. And then also finally saying, it's not just about you. So when you get there, wherever there is, whenever you get there, who are you going to help come with you?
Wow.
One of my favorite stories about, and one thing I like to share with them as it relates to having influence and impact. And basically, I got to become, who do I have to become to accomplish this, to influence them? I want to help them understand that, here's a story I tell to kind of change their paradigm. Paradigm shift basically just where, you flip the whole script. And so here's the paradigm shift. Story of Good Samaritan, right? So the story of Good Samaritans in the Bible, but, you got this guy who's been left, and this is the story, who's been left on the side of the road, left for dead, beat up, robbed, something happened to the dude. So you get these first 2 dudes. One was a priest. You would assume this dude's going to help. He doesn't. One works for the priest, Levite. He definitely going to help. Nope, he doesn't. So you got these first 2 dudes who walk by this beat up, tattered, robbed, helpless dude. They walk by him and don't help him. But then you got this third guy, the Good Samaritan, who chooses to stop, examine the guy, go out of his way, put him on his donkey, carry him to a nearby inn, and just goes out of his way to help the guy. I heard Dr. King say this before, not that I was alive when he was alive, but I've listened to some of his sermons. He preached on this before, and he says, you know what? The first 2 guys didn't help because they asked this question. They said, if I help that guy, what's going to happen to me?
Wow.
And the reason that's very relevant is because the Jericho road where they found this guy was a very dangerous road. And most people knew that if you go on the Jericho Road, you might get murked. You know what I mean? So you kind of head on the swivel, moving fast, going with a crowd. Like you see the two dudes together, like, hey. But they were thinking, man, this dude could be playing possum, right? He could be faking, and then we get up close to him, he pull a knife out and rob us. Or they could be setting an ambush. Bottom line is, they say, if I stop and help this dude, what's going to happen to me? The third guy, the Good Samaritan, asked a fundamentally different question. Again, these are Dr. King's words, not mine. Don't want to steal his thunder, and he got plenty of it. He said this. He said the third guy asked a fundamentally different question. He says, if I don't stop and help him, what's going to happen to him? And so one thing I like to help our students, whether it be students at the University of Alabama or they be kids in elementary school that we're doing our tutoring program with, or whether it be our middle school and high school kids that we're doing our character program with, I try to help them understand, like, to change their paradigm from having the, if I help him, what's going to happen to me mindset. Because I said, even from a purely selfish standpoint, let's say we are selfish, because to say, if I help him, what's going to happen to me, that's selfish. But I'll say, if you selfish, then the other question should appeal to you more. Because I said this, if you say, if I'm going to help him, what's going to happen to me? Then if everybody around you thinks that way, how many folks you got looking out for you? Nobody but you.
None. That is so deep.
But what happens if you say, if I don't help him, what's going to happen to him? And everybody around you thinks the same way. And what happens if you've helped so many people, remember, become who you are destined to become so you can accomplish what you were destined to accomplish and ultimately influence who you were destined to influence? What happens if you've influenced so many people, impacted them, and poured into them and served them? What happens if you helped so many that, guess what? Let me ask you this. If you had to depend on all the people that you had helped to get to where you were going next, could you get there? So the reality is, when you got all the people around you asking that question, if I don't help him, what's going to happen to him? Then instead of just having you looking out for you, you got yourself and everybody else around you as well. And so treating other people the way we want to be treated. And at the end of the day, saying, hey, I want to become the best version of myself so I can accomplish what I'm destined to accomplish. God, I have a gift and God wants me to accomplish something special. What does he want me to accomplish? But then the other gift is I get to give it away by serving other people. And I say, like, I have a gift. The gift is I get to be the chaplain at the University of Alabama. The gift is I get a chance to serve athletes and coaches. But I'm saying that's my gift. That's a blessing. How do I use that to influence other people and
give to help other people unlock their gifts? Because
you got it. You got it.
Yeah,
anyway,
no, that's beautiful, man. There's so many application points. I'm telling you, it's getting hotter than fish grease in here, man. I'm telling whoever's listening. I know you happy that you got your pen and paper. If you didn't, go ahead and pause this bad boy. Say a quick prayer. It's like, Lord, let me rewind this episode back.
Yeah, Chaz, you cool. You
get the gems and Scotty drop, because there was so many applications how the Holy Spirit is using you right now to impact and influence the GNG audience right now. And here's the thing: personal pleasures are temporary, family. Invest in other people lasts forever. And that's one of the things that I'm constantly reminding myself and taking that daily challenge when I go out into the real world, in this world that we live in, is understanding, hey, that whenever you just smiling at somebody or helping in whatever shape or fashion that the Lord is asking you to, that makes a huge impression. Hey, baby girl. Daddy's talking right now. I'm almost finished, okay? Just give me a minute. That's my 4-year-old daughter. It's pre-recorded too, man. So I go ahead and chop it up.
Oh, hey,
my baby girl,
that in there, man. I like that. That's awesome.
My baby girl, man. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. That personal pleasures are temporary. Giving up lasts forever. Investing in others lasts forever. And please, I want you guys. As you listen to this message, please share this out. Share this out to willing people that needs to hear this amazing message that King Scotty is laying down on us, and just bringing so much value. And I want to know which application points y'all are going to take. There were so many. Again, the serving aspect, but also I want to challenge you with this one application point. If you're having trouble locating one, is understanding life is a process. like Scotty was saying, really crunching down and finding that identity, finding out, what clarity of vision you have as you're striving to become that best version of yourself. Really getting out a sheet of paper and writing things down, getting around amazing people like Scotty that's willing to help you dissect and discover what your passions and your gifts are, because the world needs to see it. The world needs to see it. There's people behind you and people in front of you that's looking for you to manifest yourself, to become that better version of yourself, that fearfully and wonderfully made version of what God has in store for you, what he sees, led by his son Jesus. And man, I'm fired up, Scotty. I know that somebody's listening right now. It's like, I want to get more in front of what this man of God, this man of valor is doing in Alabama, so I can support him, so I can pray for him. Also, just share with the audience what you got coming up. Just go ahead and drop this, whatever comes to mind, share with the audience.
Man, one thing I'm excited about doing. So I got a master's in digital and social media marketing here. I just finished that up in May.
Congratulations.
I walked the stage. I walked the stage with my bachelor's at 22 years old. And at 44, I walked with my master's.
Hey,
kind of crazy.
Hey, congratulations. You did it.
It's digital and social media marketing. So one thing that I'm really passionate about is so helping understand how you can use digital and social media marketing to amplify your message. So I'm trying to really do that with my nonprofit. So I'm getting started with that real soon. But one of my heartbeats is to help other nonprofits or churches who are gospel centered, who are preaching the gospel, who are reaching their communities, helping them establish just really strong social media presence that will hopefully lead to more people joining their church, more people coming to their events, more people donating to their ministry, more, volunteers coming to help with the, just more traffic, feet in their ministry. So, and more hearts impacted. So that's my one thing that I'm really excited about. Thing is, man, just continuing to plug away. Like, one of my heartbeats is discipleship. Jesus says, if you come follow me, I'll make you fishers of men. So Amen. He said, you got a choice. If you come follow me, all right, then I will make you something. And so for me, I feel like that's our challenge, that we are following Christ. And so if we're following Christ, we should be looking more like him. Right. But I think the other thing is really like understanding how costly discipleship is, like to really pour into the lives of young men and to be able to invest in them and help them to grow to a point of spiritual maturity where they can do the same. So like for me, that's what I've done for 22 years. So the more I add, the more I change, the more things stay the same. So I'll add a few things, but the lion's share of my time is spent with college students, pouring into their lives, plugging them into some of the things I'm doing in the community and saying, how do I help you? How do I help launch you? How do I help you become who you were destined to become, to accomplish what God, what you were destined to accomplish, and ultimately to influence who you were destined to influence. So it's kind of like that's my heartbeat. And that's where I'm always finding myself, plugging away at. If you want to follow my ministry, you can go to www.blueprinttuscaloosa.com. That's my website. You can kind of follow what we're doing and kind of know the latest things that God has given us the privilege to join him. I feel like God's always at work and he gives us the privilege to join him. So you'll get a chance to see the latest things that he's allowing us to join him in.
Thank you so much for, again, giving clarity, focus, consistency in your lane, what God's calling you to do, Scotty, and so much gratitude that you came onto the show and just invested your time with this audience and it's given so much fruitful information, inspired by love and joy and peace and patience from and passion. What's kind of portraying the energy that's flowing through this camera and through your voice. I can tell it's something that you really enjoy and you love to do, and stuff like that sticks. Our young people, man, they can radiate and read that stuff easily when someone really truly care, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I truly believe, and that wasn't me. I think it was Maya Angelou that said that. But man, you got that it factor. So just know the GNG family, we're praying for you. to continue to do the things God calling you to do, because we still got breath in our body. There's still more left to do. And I'm excited to see how the Lord continues to use your ministry to reach more of his people and so he can get the glory for it. But I'm going to go ahead and lead us out, Scotty, okay? I told each and every one of you this is going to be an amazing episode. Please drop in the comments. Let us know what you're taking from this message on this episode and what application point that you're looking to implement and take that daily challenge on, helping you grow towards your greatest version of yourself led by God. And you know what it is. I want you to stay up with GNG. More episodes coming soon. Hey, I want you to do two things for me. Keep that crown on your heart. And please remember this. We are God's echo. Keep echoing out there, family. I love you.
Thank you for listening to GNG Podcast. Remember, you are gifted differently to make a difference. Please visit ChazJacksonSpeaks.org and let's continue to grow together. God bless.